On the hour, rugbyleague.com news. Brought to you by Thomson Reuters, the global leader for news.
Coming up, Challenge Cup glory for Hull KR for the first time in 45 years after epic victory at Wembley. Brisbane captain Adam Reynolds celebrates game number 300 with a belting of the Gold Coast, and Queensland set to terminate the State of Origin career of captain Darley Cherry Evans. But first up, for the first time in 45 years, Hull KR have lifted the Challenge Cup at Wembley. In a low-scoring affair, the Robins snuck home 8-6 in the final against Warrington, with winger Tom Davis scoring in the dying stages to level the scores before Mikey Lewis, the man of steel, showed nerves of steel, converting from out wide. Warrington led 6-2 at the break and right towards the end looked almost certain to win, thanks largely to the kicking game of Mark Sneed, whose performance at standoff won him the Lance Todd for Player of the Match. For the Robins, a huge relief, their first piece of major silverware in 4 decades. Willie Peters, the KR coach, telling the BBC post-match he thought they were gone. That try by Davis was his team's only 4-pointer, Lewis booting a penalty goal in the opening stanza to go with his match-winning conversion. And for Warrington, Josh Thulis scoring a try just before the break, which was converted by Sneed. The crowd 63,278. In the Women's Cup final, St Helens were going for 5 straight, but it was Wigan who reigned supreme, running in 7 tries to 1, winning 42 points to 6 after leading 18-0 at half-time. Wigan fullback Grace Banks, the player of the match. In the Southern Hemisphere, the Broncos smashed the Gold Coast at Suncorp Stadium, 44 points to 14. Coming off 4 straight losses, Brisbane led 28-0 at half-time in what was game number 300 for Adam Reynolds, who was saluted post-match with league boss Andrew Abdo presenting the Broncos captain with the match ball. Reynolds just the 55th player in the competition's history to crack the 300-game milestone. And as for the scoring details for Brisbane, doubles to Gemat Shibasaki, Josiah Karapani and Reece Walsh, his 2 in fact coming in the final 10 minutes. Tries also to Corey Jensen and Katoni Staggs, Reynolds with 6 goals. And for the Titans, 2 second-half tries to winger Alofiana Khan Pereira and a try to Arama Howe and 1 goal to Jaden Campbell. The crowd, 39,884. Earlier, Cronulla were turned into gummy sharks in front of their own supporters, the Warriors flogging them 40 points to 10, that result elevating the Aucklanders back up to second place on the table. The Wars scored 7 tries to Cronulla's 2, Chanel Harris-Tavita getting a double for the visitors. Tries also to Dallin Watene-Zalesniak, Adam Pompey, James Fisher-Harris, Dimitri Vaimunga and Lika Halasima, and Luke Metcalf with the boot with 6 goals. For the Sharks, Mawini Hiroti and KL Iro, the try scorers, and Nico Hines with 1 goal. The Warriors up 12-10 at half-time. Off the field, News Corp's broken the story that Maroons captain Darley Cherry Evans will be dropped by Queensland coach Billy Slater for State of Origin 2. Canterbury Bankstown have confirmed that mid-season signing Lachlan Galvin will play against Parramatta on Monday afternoon. And after seeing his club win 4 premierships on the trot, Panthers Group CEO Brian Fletcher has decided to call it quits. In the Queensland Cup at Toowoomba, a penalty goal right on the full-time siren allowed the Burleigh Bears to snatch a 32-all draw against basement side the Western Clydesdales. On the Sunshine Coast, the Falcons too good for the Capras, 24-10 the final score. Up north, Mackay beat Ipswich 26-18, and the Northern Pride defeated South Logan 30-24 in Cairns. And in the New South Wales Cup, the Warriors defeated Newtown 22-16 at Hanson Park. In PNG's Digicel ExxonMobil Cup in Port Moresby, the Gulf ESO snuck home against Leigh Tigers 12 points to 10. The Vipers beat the Hallowigman 14-8, and the Goroka Lahanis 22-16 winners against the Central Dabaris. Outside the capital, the ENB Gurias 16, Wagi Tumbe 4, Anga Miox 20, Kimbe Cutters 18, and Mount Hagen 18, Mendy Murricks 12. And for the Murricks, their first loss of the season. Finally, to New Zealand in the Fox Memorial, 4 of the 5 visiting teams got the chocolates. Mount Albert Lions hammered Richmond Rovers 48-6. Otahuhu Leopards 42-4 winners against Manukau Magpies. Point Chev Pirates 52-20 over Bay Roskill Vikings, and Papakura Sea Eagles romping home 64 points to 6 against Ponsonby Ponies. And no such luck for Te Atatu, with the Mara Saints team at home defeating the Roosters 42 points to 28. And in the Sharman, Glenora Bears beat visiting Mount Albert Lions 10 points to 8. Howick Hornets on the road defeated the Waitemata Seagulls 30 points to 12. At Otara, the Scorpions, big winners over the Pakuranga Jaguars, 62 points to 14. Hibiscus Coast Raiders came away from Walter Massey with a 46-12 victory against Mangere East Hawks. And Northcote Tigers, 30-14 victors on the road against the Manurewa Marlins. I'm Jason Costigan, and that's the latest in news on rugbyleague.com.